you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time. Yes, it's a FaceTime call. It's a FaceTime call. So when you calling me, and I know y'all like, girl, you got an Android. How you? We can FaceTime. Android. Matter of fact, Apple can FaceTime us too. All you gotta do is send a link. You can see our face and everything. And people got y'all brainwashed for a name. Y'all paying $20,000 for the same phone. Anyway. Okay. So this story, this story is mostly about how the spirit world works. I wonder, are y'all muffled? I shouldn't be. Let me check. Okay, it's not too bad. It should be good. So anyway, this story time is basically of like how the spirit works. We've had conversations where I'm like, if you don't believe in that, that's cool. If you don't want to hear about it, this story just may not be for you. There's varieties of stories on my channel, so you can pick and choose from other ones, but I won't say I'm very in tune. I just pay attention to a lot of stuff. And so I wish I had started sooner. I pay attention now and it has worked out for me. Anyway, so this story time is basically about Nia's mom. As y'all have heard me talk about when it's stories about Nia, her mom was very, very influential in my life. She was very, very hands-on when it came down to me, and also like nominated me to be like Nia's protector. Nia can protect herself, cha. But I guess I understood later, like certain things made sense. Certain things made sense. So yeah, Nia's mom was in a really, really bad accident, and it made her paralyzed from the waist down. But that didn't stop her from hustling and doing what she needed to do when it came down to making sure that her girls were taken care of. Yeah. Even looking out for other people's kids. Like she would cuss you out, but she had like this huge heart. This huge heart. This huge heart. So this one particular day, I don't even know why I was down. Did she ask me to come down? Or was I already there? Because it might have been one of the times when I was home and worked out, and I was staying with my mom. I don't know. But Nia, I think this was, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so this was, I'm gonna call her son Space Cadet. I'm gonna call myself Space Cadet. And I think it was his birthday. I can't remember which year of birthday it was, but we were going for like a birthday party. Yeah, it was his birthday. I think it was like his birthday party. And his birthday party was at a pizza place. And so like coming up towards it, like her mom had been sick, but she always like bounced back. Like so it was like we wasn't really like paying attention to certain things. Like she, I'm trying to explain it to make it make sense for y'all, because it's like you can tell like when somebody is different, when they're starting to decline and they're not doing or moving the same. Matter of like she was getting older, like we could tell like we were getting older, so we wasn't expecting her to move as fast, but her movement was, it was different. She had been sick, you know, a couple of times, but she kind of bounced back. Like we always expect her to bounce back. It was like, oh, okay, it's just like a a bad space for right now, and then you're gonna bounce back. Like it was like, okay, she's gonna bounce back. 2 3 weeks, she's gonna bounce back type situation. So anyway, like we were getting prepared and getting ready to go to Space Cadet's party, and I pull up, and when I pull up, like her mom was sitting again. She's in a wheelchair, so she was sitting by the door, and so they were packing the car, getting stuff together, like decorations and all that stuff, you know, to go to the pizza place to have the party. And so, this specific time, um, like we're putting stuff in the car, and so she was like, "I'm gonna ride with Angel." And so Nia gave her a look and was like, "Why you riding with her? Like, why you can't get in the car with me?" And so she was like, "Girl, what did I say? I'm going, I'm gonna get in the car with Angel." And so it was kind of weird because she always rolled with Nia and her husband, and so it's like, no, okay. So like for me, it was like, okay. So like my car, like at the time I was driving, what car did I have? I don't even remember. It was a small car. Did I have a Sentra? I think I might have had my Sentra at this time. I think I had a Sentra. And so it was compact. So I was like, is the wheelchair and stuff gonna fit in the back? And so she was like, "You don't want me in your car?" And I was like, "No." No, it's not that. And I was like, because my car is much smaller than Nia's. I just want to make sure like your chair and stuff is gonna fit. She was like, "It'll fit. Put it in." Put it in the trunk. You got stuff in the trunk? Because you ain't never been no junky girl, so what's in the trunk? And I was like, nothing. She was like, exactly, put it in the trunk. Okay, ma'am. So we put the after she gets in the car, we put the wheelchair in the trunk. And so, you know, me and Nia kind of gave each other a look like, you know, because it was odd. Like she always rolled with Nia and her husband. So it was like, it's odd. It was just different. It was different. And so we we got in the car, and so we're driving, like, and so I was like no. So once she got in the car, like we're driving, and I made a joke because I was like, now I gotta drive slow because I got this senior citizen in the front seat with me. And she started laughing. She was like, yeah, okay. So Nia had called, and so she was like, is everything okay? Like she she had called, and she was like, everything okay in the car and whatever. And so I was like, Nia want to know like if you okay. She's like, we just going to the pizza place. Like, God, we just going up the mother street. It was like a 20-25 minute drive, but still, it was odd. It was just odd. It was different. So I was like, you just want to make sure you okay. I was like, you okay? Like, this is your first time ever riding in the car with me. And I was like, you know, I kind of tilt my head to the side because it was her very first time ever riding in my car, ever riding with me. Like, No, it was numerous times. Yes, I have made store runs for her. It was numerous times that we sat in the same house together. But that was her very first time riding in the car with me, and she was requesting it, which was odd. It was odd. It was so odd. And so I was like, she just want to make sure like you okay. And I was like, you, this is your first time in the car with me. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, that's kind of crazy because we've known each other for years. Like, we known each other for years. So it was like, it's your first time being in my car. So she was like, mm-hmm. Well, maybe if you would have came home more, it might have been a difference. Okay, shade, but whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. So we get to the pizza place, and Nia family shows up, and we're having a good time. We're enjoying the birthday party. We sing happy birthday. We eat pizza. We eat cake. We eat ice cream. We're having a good time. Yeah, like it's cool. It's whatever. And so when it's time to go, and like we're cleaning up and we're putting stuff back in the car. Excuse me. So Nia says, you know, you want to get. She was like, okay, like we going home, so you want to get in my car because Angel's just gonna go straight home. She said, no, I'm gonna get in Angel's car, and we shot each other a look again because it was like, this is odd, because usually again she never gets in my car. She never gets in my car. So I was like, okay. So she was like, in what sense did that make anyway? My wheelchair is already in Angel was already in Angel car. Y'all don't have space in the car with her shoot. So Nia was like, yes we do. We have space. And so she was like, it's fine. I'm getting in Angel's car. So she got in my car. She closed the door. she slammed the door. And so we kind of looked at each other, and her husband was like, and I was like, and so we put the wheelchair in the truck again, and we're headed back. And so, did I stop? I don't think I stopped or anything. I don't think they stopped or anything either. Well, I think they did. No. So we're leaving, and so I drive again, like I drive a little fast. If you watch my vlogs, I drive a little fast. And so she was like, slow down a little bit. And I was like, okay. So I slowed down. And so she started talking. So she said, Angel, you know what? I just want to thank you for being a real friend to Nia. I just want to thank you for always being there. And I was like, you're welcome. You know, like sometimes you know, like we have moments as humans. Like we just have moments where you sit back and you think, and you kind of realize like this person has been there. This person is, you know, special. And so like you want to acknowledge it. Cause I do that at times too. Like I send out like text messages random out of the blue, and it's like, you know, I appreciate you for showing up. I appreciate you for being my friend. I appreciate you for understanding, like just certain things like that, right? And so I was like, no, you're welcome. And I was like, there were plenty of times where like you've been good to me, like real talk, like real talk. Like I've told you guys in a story time, like I am bawling in the middle of my bed, and she called in the middle of the night. Nobody knows nothing. I'm just sitting up in the middle of my bed bawling, and she calls me and said, what's wrong? My uncle had passed away on my dad's side, and she called, and so she was like, you coming to the funeral? And I was like, no, I'm not coming. I was like, no, I'm not coming. And so she was like, why not? And I was like, what am I coming for? Because the truth be told, I didn't know him. I know nothing about him. I knew nothing about him. And so she was like, Angel, you need to go over there and at least pay your respects. And I was like, why am I paying my respects? I don't even know the man. So she was like, so you can know you can know your other family members. Your daddy's stupid, don't mean you gotta make others pay. Which was true. You know what I'm saying? Like it was true. It was like, I have so many aunts and uncles that I have so many aunts and uncles that I don't have a relationship with because My mom didn't trust me with my dad, and she had every right not to after him leaving me at my aunt's house by myself. And I'm a 4 year old at my aunt's house with nobody there for 8 hours. And you're schizophrenic. You're addicted to drugs. So I don't know what I can say on YouTube. You're addicted to drugs. So it's like, yeah. So we had this, I don't know, I can't explain it, but we had this bond where literally, as I told y'all, all her daughters are in all her daughters are in the house, and she would call me 20 minutes away and be like, can you go to the store for me? Like, I don't know. I was like, you're welcome. You're welcome. And so she was like, no, seriously, like, I appreciate you. And I just wanted to let you know that you have been such a joy. You have been such a joy to have in my life. And I was like, you too. Like, like I'm looking at her like, where is this coming from? Because while she's talking, like, she's looking out of the window. And she's just looking like off to the window, but she's talking, which wasn't her either. I mean, like, she'll look straight ahead, but I don't know. It was just different. It was just a different vibe. So she got quiet, and then it was like this smell that came up in the car. And so she was like, I'm sorry, Angel. And I was like, what? And so she was like, this new medicine they got me on, it messes with my stomach, so I can't really control the gas. I can't really control my bowels. She was like, so if I mess up your car, if it's something happened in your car, I'll pay for it. She was like, but I know you smell that, so I'm sorry. And I was like, no, you're okay. Like, I know she had been sick. Nia had told me she had been sick for a while, so I was like, you're okay. Like, it's okay. And it's a normal human function. Like, I'm not a kid to where, like, young kids, like, we laugh at that, which I noticed, like, when we were like kindergarten, first, second, third, like, you laughed at people passing gas. And then when you got older, you passed gas, and it's like, it's whatever. Well, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, it became like a normal function. You could tell, like, growth. And so I was like, no, you're okay. It's okay. And so she was like, I'm just so tired. Like, I'm just so tired of all these different medicines, and I'm just so tired of I'm just so tired. And I was like, so tired. And I was like, what, like the sleeping schedule? Like, you're not getting enough sleep? And so she was like, no, I'm just so tired of being sick. And again, she had been sick off and on, but she always bounced back. She just always bounced back. And so I'm still driving, and I had slowed, like I said, I had slowed down because she asked me to slow down. And so it took us a little while to get where we were going because she had asked me to slow down. Like I'm driving slow. I'm driving slow. And so she was like, I want to talk. She was like, I got in your car because I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to get some things off my chest. The sun went down. Hold on. I don't like that either. Yeah, that's better. So I was like, okay, what's up? Like, cause she was like, I want to talk to you. I want to get some things off my chest. And I was like, oh, okay, what's up? And so she was like, I want you, sorry, yeah. She was like, I want you to make sure, like, you take care of Nia. And I was like, take care of Nia. And so she was like, yeah, I want you to make sure that you take care of Nia. Like, I know Nia got her husband, and I know, she got her kids, but Nia tries to pretend to be this strong person. She tried to pretend to be this strong person, and she just always put all this weight on her. Her daddy ain't about ish. Her daddy ain't about ish, so she don't really have nobody to vent to. She don't really have nobody to talk to. And she was like, yeah, I know her husband is there. And he's like, but he's there, but there's only so much he can take. Like, make sure you're taking care of Nia. She's like, matter of fact, make sure y'all taking care of each other. And I was like, oh, okay. And so she was like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, no, okay. And I was like, I don't even know where this is coming from, but okay. And so she was like, it's just this world is so hard. It's so cool. I don't know. She was like, and them other two idiots. And she was talking about Green Eyes in Channel 5. And she was like, them other two idiots, I know without a shadow of a doubt, Nia gonna be fine. She gonna take care of herself. But them other two idiots, they ain't got a brain. They ain't got a brain. They just do stupid stuff. And I was like, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna get stuff together. No, Angel. No. And I was like, no, it's gonna be fine. I promise, it's gonna be fine. And so she was like, I'm just so tired. And I was like, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, it's just at this point in time, like, it's just, like, it's just like, we've been through this before. Like, you've been sick and they had to adjust your medicine and stuff like this, and you bounce back. And so she was like, yeah. And during that time, like, y'all, I'm not really catching on, but looking back, it was like so anyway, she so after that, like, we're crossing over the last bridge to get to to make our way to Nia's house. And so Nia called, and when she called, she was like, I'm just checking on y'all because it's taking y'all a little minute to get here. And so she was like, girl, mind your business. Mind your business. We are fine. Like, we are fine. Mind your business. And so Nia was like, oh, okay. Like, I was just making sure. She was like, because it don't take y'all long to get here. She's like, what did I say? She's like, okay, mama, okay. And so I think she kind of hurt her feelings, but it was like, because it was different. Like, it really was. It was just a different vibe. It was really a different vibe. So we pulled into the yard, and before, like, they got to the car to get out, to help get her out. And so she was like, no, really, I really just want to thank you. I really want to spend some time with you. She was like, you need to come, like, spend a little more time with me. Like, come down here and, make time to spend a little more time with me. And I was like, okay, like, not even thinking. I was like, oh, okay, because again, either I was down there or I was down for something else. I don't know, or maybe I came down specifically for the party. I can't remember, but I know I was there. And so she was just like, just make sure, like, you're gonna spend more time with me. We need to spend more time together. Not thinking nothing of it. I had to come down because, yeah. So lo and behold, y'all, it was a couple of months. Yeah. It was like, I was thinking like around November. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's basically that his birthday is in September. But anyway, it wasn't too long after that. She got sick, and they called the ambulance, and the ambulance, I think Nia was saying, like, how she was fussing and how she didn't want to go in the ambulance. She don't call no ambulance, just take me. And like she said, it was, she was just giving her a fight this specific time. But she ended up going to the hospital, and when she went to the hospital, as usual, we're thinking like, okay, it was just a little sickness, like, she's gonna get over it, she's gonna bounce back. And she got really, really sick. And so Nia called, and Nia was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, she's not doing good. And at this point in time, she was in a coma. And she was like, she's not doing good. So I just want to give you a heads up, like, you know, you might want to come down. I was like, I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, like you might want to come down, like you might want to make your way down. And I was like, girl, nah, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. She was like, no, you might want to make your way down. So I made arrangements. I was like, okay, I gotta get down there. So made arrangements, went down there, and they had it set up to where certain people couldn't come up there anyway, because it was issues that they had going on. So I don't know why people act crazy like around death and sickness and stuff, but they do. So I show up, I call Nia, and I told I went to pick her up because I was like, okay, I'm here. And so I picked her up and we went to the hospital. And before we got out, we were sitting in the parking lot, and before we got out, she was like, are you ready for this? And I was like, ready for what? And so she was like, she looks different. She looks different. And I was like, it can't be, because again, she had been in and out of the hospital for the longest. So it would be times where I would go see her in the hospital, or it'd be times when I would call her, you know. So it was something that we were accustomed to. I won't say used to, but accustomed. And then we were always used to her getting better and coming out. And so Nia was like, you ready for this? Like, when you go here, I promise you, like, she doesn't look the same. And I was like, okay. And I'm, you know, in my mind, I was like, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. So she was like, okay. So we walk in, and while she walks in, there's all of these tubes and machines and stuff everywhere. And Nia was right. It was different. It was different. The atmosphere was different. Very different. I guess I was just so used to her. Like, when you walk in and she'll, you know, she'd be like, I'm gonna get out of here. You know, I'm coming home. Just give me a couple of days. I'm out of here. Or when I walk in, you ain't bring my ice cream. It was just silence. And the monitors. All these monitors, all these machines all over the place. So we sat there for a while, and Nia was talking to her, and Nia was rubbing her hand, and so she was saying, you know, Ma, Angel's here, and she was trying to, you know, wake her up. And so when she said Ma and Angel's here, and she said the first Angel, she kind of opened her eyes and looked at me for a little bit, and then she closed them right back. And then Nia was rubbing on. She was like, Ma, Angel's here. And I was like, it's okay. And so I grabbed her hand. And said, you know, I came to see you, and you got to get up out of here because we're, you know, waiting for you. You got to get up out of here because I got to get your ice cream. And she grabbed my hand, like, she, you know, tightened her hand around my hand a little bit, and then she let it go. So I was just sitting in a chair, like, we sat there for a minute, and the nurse came in. We sat there, and Nia was telling me, like, some of the stories and some of the things that was going on, and how Green Eyes and Channel 5, and then how her dad and all of them, like, certain things and certain issues, and how her mom had made arrangements for certain things that had kind of shocked her. So so I was like, oh man. And so when we left, she was like, "You ready to go? Like, or you want to stay here for a little while?" We stayed for a little bit, and then we left, and we were sitting in the parking lot, sitting in the garage of the hospital in the parking lot, and we was just sitting there. We was just sitting there, like, in disbelief, you know, like just sitting there. And so, she was like, "You ready to go? We gonna sit here? Like, what we gonna do?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah," because we were leaving to like go get something to eat. And so when we left, and so she was like, "What you think? Like, what you think?" And I was like, I don't know." And it was more of asking, like, "Do you think, you know?" Because again, we had been through this before, and so it was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't want to say, "Girl, she's gonna be fine," and that didn't happen, or I don't know. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't put nothing on it. And so I left, and we went to eat, and I left we left and went back home because I had to be to work. And so literally the day after my birthday, I'm at work, and my cell phone is vibrating like crazy, vibrating. And I answered the cell phone, and it's Nia, and she's like, "Sissy, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone." She kept saying it over and over, and I'm saying, "Nia, what?" And so she was like, "She's gone, she's gone, she's gone." She kept saying it over and over and over, and she hung up. Like, she hung up. And I'm standing at work, and I'm in disbelief because I'm literally at work, and I'm going back and forth, like walking back and forth around, because at this specific time I am in it wasn't I'm in the ROI department, release of information. I'm in the medical records release of information department. Like, I created like my own system, so I had like my own little office along with all the files for different facilities. And so but also in this building, like, we do we had collectors, we also had customer service. Like, it was cubicle nation. And so I'm pacing and walking back and forth in my office, walking back and forth, and I'm going, like, I was so discombobulated. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm going back and forth, and I walk back up to, well, it was like a manager office was right beside me, and she was real cool. And so I stopped, and I looked at her, and so she was like, "What's wrong?" Like, and I'm just staring out in space, and I was like, because I called her, like, she was like my second mom, but I didn't say that. So I was like, "My godmother passed away." And so she was like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Great. I don't." And I know she was kind of looking at me crazy, because literally I walked away saying that, and then I went up front because my boss was up front. Because my boss, she was over me and two other girls, but she was the receptionist. I don't know. She was head administrative, so to speak. So she I went up front, and I was like literally, like, I'm going back for so I'm miscombobulated. I'm doing crazy, like, I can't get my mind together. Like, can't get my mind together. And I was like, my god, my godmother just died. She, like, and so I literally told her, and I was like, "No, my stepmom." I was like, "My stepmom died. My stepmom died," is what I told her. And so I was like, "My stepmom just died. My stepmom just died." And she was like, "Oh no, were you close?" Like, and I was like, yeah. Like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And so she was like, "Do you need to go home?" And I was like, "I don't, just give me a minute." So I went, and I was like, "I'm gonna close my door for a minute." And so she was like, "Okay." She was like, "I'm gonna give you like 10 minutes." So I went in my office, I closed my door, and I'm bawling, and I'm calling Nia, and Nia's not answering the phone, which is expected. And I'm like, what? She literally passed away the day after my birthday. The day after my birthday. So, I asked my boss, like, coming up to when it was time for her service, because I wanted to leave like that Friday. And so I was asking my boss, like, like about bereavement pay or whatever. And so she was like, oh yeah. And so when I got to the church, like I got there before Nia. Like I didn't go with the family. I got there before her. And when I walked in, like she was laying out, and I wouldn't go up there. I wouldn't go up there. But I also wanted to make sure, like, I wasn't sitting with the family. I was making sure, like, Nia could see me. So I was sitting over to the side, and one of our classmates came over, and she knew how close and how involved Nia's mom was with me or whatever. So she came over and she was like, oh, I'm gonna sit by you, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And so throughout the service, like, Nia kept looking at me, and my classmate was in my ear, which was getting on my nerves. I know she meant well, but it was getting on my nerves. Anyway, at the end of the service, like, I needed an obituary to take back to work so I could still get paid for it, right? Get paid for that day. And so I didn't have an obituary, and yeah, so I had to ask Nia after, like, you just watch your mom be lowered into the ground. I was like, I need an obituary. So she was like, and I was like, oh, because I didn't get one. Yeah. So anyway, once I got home, Nia called me like a couple of days later, and so she was like, I want to apologize to you. She was like, because I know I probably wasn't nice. And I was like, Nia, you don't owe me any apology. I can't imagine what's that like. Because at the time my mother was healthy. So yeah, and before I got down there, I had asked my mom to, like, go check on them or whatever. But we was talking, and so she was like, oh, I need to tell you something, because we was like just reminiscing or whatever. And I was like, what's up? And so she was like, she was looking for you, she was asking for you. And I was like, what do you mean? And so she was like, she was asking for you. She was like, weeks before you came down, like, my grandma was in the room with her, and she kept saying your name. She kept saying Angel, Angel, Angel. She was like, so we went and bought, like, these angel figurines. And so, every time she would say it, we would like, hey go an angel, like, hey go this angel figurine. And so she was like, and I didn't think anything about it until later. She was like, after you came, she stopped saying it. And I was like, wow. And I was like, do you remember when Space Cadet party, like, she got in a car with me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, girl, she was trying to, and I was like, she was saying all these things like, y'all better take care of each other, and I appreciate you. And I was like, girl, she was just trying to prepare me. And this whole time, like, I had no clue. Like, y'all, like, I didn't cry about her until, like, I was doing laundry at my mom's house, and this had been, like, I think weeks after she had passed away. It probably been like 2-3 months, and I was doing laundry, and all of a sudden it was like, I just broke down. And it was so crazy. And this one particular night, it was like, I had this dream, And I was in this place. This place was so beautiful. I don't even know where the place was. This place was so beautiful, and it was this nice house. And when I got to like, I wasn't in the yard, but when I got like to in front of the door, in front of like the driveway, she walks out and she was waving. She walks out. Because remember I told y'all she was paralyzed. She walks out and she was waving and she was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. She had this long, pretty hair. Like she looked like her pictures before the accident. And she was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I woke up and I was just bawling, bawling, bawling. Because I was having such a hard time with it. And I wasn't talking to anybody about it. Because it was like, Nia got enough on her plate. It's her mom, you know? I don't know. I just thought it was real funny. Well, not funny, but real interesting. Like, how she was trying to prepare me. And I didn't catch it until after. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it. I don't know. I just wanted to put it on my YouTube channel, and like how most of the times like we don't pay attention, like people we have close relationships with, like sometimes they be trying to tell us certain things and we don't pay attention to it until after. Yeah. She was trying to prepare me. I miss that lady. I do. I don't know. This wasn't really a story time. I don't know. I just wanted to say it. I don't know. I think it was a story. I don't know. Anyway, I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.